Okay, so our today class is about Elasticsearch. So I will focus on Elasticsearch. I will do some, file bit stuff and Logstash and some Kibana visualization. And I will doing, pcaps operation. So mostly we're going to do some, some massaging on Tshark, a simple script. I will provide the script. You just follow and you can fill yourself the script. So okay, I just share with you guys. I just went to Golden Gate yesterday for my first day actually on last Friday, and then it was very nice. It's like it's like a drawings, papers, Then this one is yesterday. We went to Lombart Street, I think. Yes, Lombart Street. It's like a French place in America. So it's a very nice place. Okay, so just an opening. So this is our agenda today. So I will explain to you what I'm doing right in Malaysia. So a short introduction about me. So what is actually a problem that I'm having back in my labs and some use case. Then I will show you what is my lab architecture, the future architecture of my labs, and we will do some testing and Elasticsearch mapping. So the challenges part is on the Elasticsearch mapping. You can interrupt me at any time, and I'm sorry if my English is not very good, my accent and everything, but I will understand you guys. Okay, so our class is very flexible. It's not a one-way class. I will try to be multiple ways so we can enjoy the class for the next 1 hour, 1.5 hours. Okay, actually, I'm a senior lecturer. I'm from Malaysia, and I'm from Polytechnic Mersing. Polytechnic is a education institution in Malaysia. Malaysia is very near to Singapore. It's about 2 hours. Okay, and we have created what we call as a Cyber Range Academy. Is an academy whereby students they have an experience on the blue and red team, offensive and defensive stuff. We are doing the real what we call as a Cyber Range Testbeds. What happened in cybersecurity, but on a small scale. And I'm the one, the creator of Cyber Range exercises with my wife at the back. He's more towards a blue team. I'm a red team. So I am an innovator and researcher. So I love to leverage the SOC, what we call a SOC, in the labs. And I'm doing my PhD on network security. So this is my Facebook. You can add as a friend. So I just shared with you guys. This is our Minister of Education. He just because we are doing something different in Malaysia. We are doing what we call as a Cyber Range, an exercise of blue team and red team. And he came to our labs to see what actually we are doing in our labs. So these are our labs. Actually, we have some what we call as a traffic generator. Is a commercial tools. We have about 30,000 attacks, evasive attacks. Many kinds of DDoS attacks. And the problem is that I have to visualize the attacks. I have to get something to learn. To show to my student what will happen if the attack A happens. So we have a good traffic generator. So we have to have visibility, and that's why I'm doing research on Elastic. So we are translating the pcaps onto the Elasticsearch. Okay, this is the stories a few days back. It's about looking at the bigger picture. So our minister says that he started because we have a lot of universities, polytechnics in Malaysia. So Polytechnic is the second-class education institution in Malaysia, but we have the state-of-the-art technology, and most of our students are they just graduated and then they are working in Singapore, in Kuala Lumpur, in cybersecurity, and they are very expert and they are doing the professional certs everywhere. So he encouraged our people to, to apply learning in polytechnic as well, beside university. Okay, this is our award back at 2017. We have won the Cybersecurity Innovation of the Year. So it is from Cybersecurity Malaysia. It is an organization that handles all the cybersecurity stuff in Malaysia. So we one of the, I think we are the first education institution that won this award as the innovation of the year, because we are, we have a what you call as a cyber range lab in our institution. Okay, so what is cyber range lab? We have one on 2017. And it's kind of blue and red team. I think you guys know about blue and red team. Is all the defensive and offensive side of exercises. It's a test bed. Okay, we are doing some visibility and troubleshooting on the networks, and I can say we have a lot of pcaps here. We can play around with the pcaps, and the problem is that we just want to to massage, to learn, to analyze. To analyze the pcaps, the behavior or the other anomaly that happens to be in our networks. So this is the links that we have a problem just now. So what is our problem? So currently our problem is that from 1915 until 2015, our classroom, our way of learning is never changed. We have a teachers. We have a whiteboard or blackboard. We have a chairs and desk. But nothing happened. But we cannot give the students the feels, the realism of learning in cybersecurity. So that's why students, they are need to feel the packet. They need to to troubleshoot the visibility. They need to shoot the pcaps. So the sniffing experience will be perfect. But we need another visibility. So we have a good software, which is Wireshark, but we have to have another partners to visualize the graphic and so on and so forth. So Wireshark has done the best, and it's best though, but we need a partner. So I'm doing some research on visibility. So I've done my research on Elasticsearch since version 1. So there are massive development on Elasticsearch, but also I tried to do some testing on InfluxDB. They have a people here, representative, but because of Elastic, they have a lot of features and element. So we focus on Elastic. So, but still we have some knowledge gaps between a learning curve and what the industry needs. So learning should be an enjoyable journey. So there are conflicts between the theory and the practical. So with some adjustment and some development teams, some features that happen to be in Tshark, which is a graphical tools for Wireshark, they introduced the Tshark mapping. So we need to do some, some geek stuff. It's not very geek, but we are doing the command and testing on the terminal. So it will be exciting class session. So Wireshark has introduced what we call as a Tshark for elastic mapping filters. We will use this parameter throughout our class, because we will, we will translate a few fields into the JSON so that we can input the pcaps file from the JSON to the Elasticsearch. Okay. So this is just a difference between the Tshark and tcpdump. tcpdump is everyone using the tcpdump. Tshark works as what tcpdump do, but the only difference is that the capabilities of Tshark on translated to the pcap to other formats, including JSON. So the most important parameters that we are going to use is the elastic mapping. So because the elastic mapping, they have translate the pcap fields and protocol into the Elasticsearch. From the version 3 onwards, they have resolved what we call as the Elasticsearch mapping issue. Okay, so it will be much more benefit for analyzing and searching for protocols in the network with Wireshark. So let's test something. Okay, so I have a pcaps. It is from Mila Paco. So maybe we can, we can do some some testing on statistic. Okay. Okay. Okay, from the links that I've shared with you guys, a Bitcoin miner pcaps, you can download it and put it at the desktop or anywhere. Okay, from here, okay, we have to do some some analysis on what happened on the pcaps with Tshark, so that we have a better understanding before we are going to import the pcaps into Elasticsearch. Okay. So, okay. So I put the file on the desktop. Okay. So if you guys, Tshark, if you want to experiment with Tshark, we can just straight away launch the Tshark without any parameters. By default, it will sniff our traffic, seems like what happened on the Wireshark. But to read the file, firstly we have to use the Tshark -r parameter. Okay, so get the pcaps. Okay, -r means we are reading the pcap file. Okay. Sorry. Okay, this is the pcaps. Okay. Okay, this is the simplest to open the pcaps with the -r. But from here, we're gonna do some some analysis. Okay, you can check. Okay, we're gonna use some analysis. Okay, on the statistic. Okay, on the static. So what's actually happened on the pcaps? Okay. Okay. Okay, the command that we're going to use is it takes time to to pop up. So the command that we're going to use here is -q, means it will not output the pcaps. -x. So we want to analyze the HTTP request and we put it on the proper way. So the command would be, actually I'm sharing the command on the Google Classroom, so you just copy pasting, but unfortunately the Google Classroom doesn't work. So okay, the command was Tshark, okay, -r, okay, pcaps -q -x http _request and 3. So we can see here there are a request from this URL. So it counts 18. So this is the percent and the bursta. So the time that the request needs. So From here, we can see we have what we call as a HTTP request from here. It's count 18. So that means we need to, you know, to have that kind of field in our Elasticsearch. Okay. It takes time. Okay.
Does the pcap need to be in the Wireshark directory?
No need. You just put anywhere. Are you using Windows or? Oh, sorry. You have to put the. Okay.
Yeah.
So okay. So Windows, you have to put on the same path of the Tshark executable file. So let's say.
So Tshark -R. Oh, I can
Okay.
go back to the last route.
Are you using command prompt? Do you have? Okay. Do you have a file here?
Yeah. It's right there, tshark.exe.
No, the file.
Oh, the file is in a different directory.
So I think you just put the file on the same directory that Tshark.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was asking. Okay.
Or you can navigate. Does Tshark can run anywhere in your place, in your path? Or
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. Okay, I'll copy it over to the other.
okay. Okay, there are a few steps on analyzing the traffic with Tshark. So, you know, with the HTTP request we can get, there are something that happened on the malicious, not a malicious, it's suspicious. We have to find, you know, what kind of the traffic goes. So from here, okay, I think if you are doing, if you are using Windows, I think you have to put the file on the same path of Tshark, okay? Tshark executable file, okay? Okay, maybe I just share the file with you guys, the command, every command that we're gonna execute, okay? I have prepared a lot of, you know, a lot of file here, but it doesn't work, okay? So, okay, I will copy it and put into the Google Drive. Okay, new, Google Docs, create and share. Okay. Peace. Okay. So the commands. Okay, I'll share the commands here so you guys can, you know, can just copy paste it. Okay. Okay, done. Okay. 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 Tshark also, they have the capabilities on visualizing the column format. So our second command would be, we will, you know, we will output the number times source destination is a default format for Wireshark. So if you guys get this file, you can just you know, copy this file, okay, and run it on the terminal, okay. So what happened is that this command will, you know, will shows the only fields that we need from the file. What we have to do is just put the -r, okay, with the pcap names, and then it will, you know, they are not different, but it will, you know, it will organize the file with the column that we are provided from the parameter, from this -o parameter. If you guys get a problem to run the command, you just can use the Tshark -help. So it will shows you what happened on every parameter that we execute. Okay? Can you execute the file, sir?
That other file, I couldn't get to the file where I could copy your string, but I did get the.
Okay, nice. Okay, it's just to show that before we are doing the, you know, the mappings and everything, we have to familiarize, okay, the fields that we have on the Elasticsearch, okay. So the next slide is okay. So anyone went to soccer block class, he had explained the, you know, the I think the expert way to analyze the traffic using the Tshark. So I think this one is the, you know, the fastest way to understand what has happened on the pcap itself. So okay, it just you know, Wireshark, because it's very powerful, it includes the Huawei Multiplexer to, you know, to visualize the field name. So if we have, you know, if we have a multiplexer on Huawei in our network, it will also visualize the traffic or visualize the field names. Okay. So this is the default value of column format for Tshark. Okay, we can test it out with the format on the parameter Tshark -g. I think it's, when I switch the full screen, it's not very fast. I think I will switch again. If you guys have any problem, you just raise your hand. Okay. Okay. So we're going to use Tshark -g. Okay. So if you just put the Tshark -g, it will, you know, output what is the column or the protocols that can be translated by the Elasticsearch, by the Wireshark. So if, let's say, you want to know what is the column that support by Wireshark, you just can use Tshark -g column dash format. Okay. Okay. So this is exactly what Tshark gonna organize the fields, okay, on the pcaps file. So actually this is the critical stage, because we have to understand on every column that's supported by Tshark before we're going to put the pcaps on the Elasticsearch. Okay? So actually we're going to use these mappings, okay? I will make it bigger. So we're going to use this mapping to directly import the pcaps on the JSON format. So before we map from the JSON to the fields that exist in the pcaps, we have to do some mappings. But bear in mind, Elasticsearch only support 1,000 fields per entrance, even though Wireshark itself, they can read about 200 fields, everything. So I think I show the file. Okay. This is my experiment during the transferring the file. Okay. So okay. From these pcaps, it happens to be something like the mining pcaps, mining process on the client side. So actually, if we're going to use a Logstash, we have to do some TCP replay, so that we can do some pipelines. Okay, if not, if you are using the file bit or directly input the file onto Elasticsearch, we can directly use the the elastic mapping. Okay. Okay. Is there any question, you guys? It's okay. Are you guys understand what I'm explaining? Okay. Okay. So from the file, I've shared to you how to do the TCP replay. So TCP replay, if you guys have you guys using Security Onion? Security Onion. So we have what we call as a TCP replay. So TCP replay is like we are playing back the pcaps, so that it's like the pcaps happens to be on our side. So I'll just share you the codes. Okay. So how to run on the pcaps, but on Windows, I think we have to install something. Do we have to install something on Windows? We're going to do TCP replay. I guess we have to install something, right?
Probably. You have to install something on the Mac.
Sorry?
You have to install something on the Mac.
Yes, on the Mac, yes. But I have a problem because I'm not using Windows. So I think Windows also we have to install something on TCP replay. Okay. Okay. I think I'm continuing with the slide. Okay, this one is a stem type. We want to visualize some, because sometimes when we are reading the pcaps, the time format will be different. Maybe on the millisecond. Sometimes we want to change the time to be year, month, or date. So this is the parameter that we can use to change the time format. Okay. So this one, I'm organizing back the file. So this is the main idea. This is actually it's not a framework, but this is what happened. This is what I'm going to do in my labs. I'm going to do something like exercises. So we have a few, criminals, so-called criminals. So we have, the incoming connection and outgoing connection. So I'm going to do something here. It's like, the storage that I kept all my pcaps. So I will dump or drop the packets using, something like the rules from the pcaps. So from the dashboard, I will using the capabilities of Kibana to interact with the blue team operator. So the architecture would be a pipeline. So we're gonna put it as in the pipeline, whereby we can create and input traffic from the captured pcaps. Okay, so Elasticsearch actually they support three types of pipeline, which is a packet capture. We are capturing the packet directly on the networks. So number two is the protocol passing, and the third one we will search and visualize the traffic. So the pipeline would be very more similar like this. We have a traffic generator, and we have maybe an internet traffic. So the pcaps that comes from these two sources, so we will keep in the storage, and then we will doing some pcaps, some Tshark operation. So we will push the data onto the Elasticsearch and we visualize back to the Kibana. Okay. Okay, this is my architecture in my place. So actually, this is the commercial software is called Breaking Point. So we have a few tappers. So I bought a few tappers here from the data retention. We can get the pcaps, so we can manually or automatically analyze the traffic before we going to pass back to the blue team. Okay. Okay. Since version 2, okay, JSON format for the Elasticsearch has been supported. So we are going to use the what you call -t EK. EK is a JSON format, so that we can export our data onto the Elasticsearch. So also we're going to do live capture of the traffics, so that we can directly import to the JSON format. So the capturing file will be like this. -R is reading the offline pcaps file. So with the input -t EK, we can translate the file onto the JSON file. Okay. So maybe we can try this one. From the same pcaps. Okay. Okay, the -G means we want to do some reportings on elastic mapping, and then we're gonna filter the IP, the protocol, IP, UDP, and DNS. Okay, we just copy this file, this command. Okay. I think I will stop here. Okay. So what happened to this command? Actually, it will do some reporting on elastic mapping. So we are going to filter a few protocol, which is IP, UDP, and NS. So let's say we just want to use the what it looks like on elastic mapping filter. Okay. So we can see here from the elastic mapping. It does a job, okay, on on visualizing the what you call as a field. So we'll put the IP and types accordingly, so that wherever we export to the Elasticsearch, we can do some aggregation. If not, by default, if we import the the file onto the Elasticsearch, Elasticsearch will accept the file, but we cannot do any of the aggregation. Okay, so this one is a IP fields that support by the Elasticsearch. Okay, so okay, so we need to copy this file. Okay, we need to copy all this file. So actually, I have shared the file with you guys. Okay, maybe I will share back. You don't need to type again. Okay, the file will be here. Okay. So actually, the packet capturing with Wireshark, they have a they have a package whereby we can learn the transferring using the Python script. So, but I think this one we have a few issues on the coding, so I have to adjust something before we're gonna use these codes. But before that, I need you guys to install Elasticsearch onto your machine, because we are gonna install the Elasticsearch natively without using any Docker or VM, because Elasticsearch will use much more our resources on RAM. So I've decided to run the Elasticsearch natively inside our machine. So okay. Okay, so we have the the captured file. So, okay, let's say we have a simple file, captured file. Okay, what we're gonna do? Okay, so we're gonna capture some file. Okay. -I, EN0. So this is my interface, and then I will output one name. Let's say SharkFest.pcap. Okay. Okay. Let's say I stop it here. Okay. So we have a file here, Tshark. -R, okay, SharkFest.pcaps, okay. Sorry, I used the wrong word. Okay, this one. Tshark -T, okay. C, paste, okay. Okay, so Okay, we're gonna have one JSON file. Okay, we can open it. Okay, so this is what the file will look like. So every file, every field that has been translated into JSON, we have to map back onto the Elasticsearch. Okay. Okay. So we're gonna put this file onto Elasticsearch, but before that, we have to install Elasticsearch. Do you have already installed Elasticsearch? Or okay. So installation of Elasticsearch is very easy. Okay. So you guys can go to Elasticsearch. Okay. So the steps very straightforward. Okay, you can go to the documentation. So I've already passed the the links. Okay. Okay, it's one injection. Okay. So, okay, reference, getting started. So, we can go here, installation. So, the installation will be very easy, okay? We just need to download the file. If let's say you are doing with Microsoft, so you can just download the file here. Okay, I'm going to copy the links and I put it here. Installation links. Okay. Okay. So there are a few steps, but firstly we have to install we have to make sure that we have a OpenJDK or a JVM. We have to have the Oracle Java or the OpenJDK format onto our machine. If not, the installation doesn't work. So let's say if we on Windows, okay. So if you guys have any problems, so I can help you. So you have to download this. No, not this one. This one. Yeah, that one. Do you have Java installed on your machine? Okay, right. So you have to run a few commands. Okay. It's a Java version, I think. Are you using Windows? Oh, Windows. Oh, Windows. I think I have to go there. Sorry. Okay, if let's say you have a Windows install, okay, we have two options, which is we can use the open source Java development kit, which is called OpenJDK, or you can just go straight away from Java Virtual Machine, okay, using the links that I've given to the documents. So it is very straightforward installation on Windows. You just download it, and then you make sure that you get the right file. Okay, for Windows, let's say for Windows, this one is for for Linux. Okay, so you can you can use this one is Oracle JDK, and this one is JVM. Okay. Do you have the JVM, Java Virtual Machine? Yeah.
So
yeah. This one, that one was OpenJDK. Yes, yes. Windows.
Which version?
You can take the latest version, JDK 9 and above. Okay. Okay, you can use the JDK 12. Okay. So Windows version is like it's here. Okay. 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 If you are using Windows, Linux or Mac version of OS, so you just download the source file, and then you can install directly on the machine. Okay. Installation steps is right here, I think. So meanwhile, I will explain to you what is Elasticsearch before we going to import the file onto our machine. So Elastic. Okay. We're going to use these two kind of file, whereby it is a direct installation. Okay, so this one is on the offline capture. Okay, don't worry, I have all the files. If I don't have the sufficient time, you can message me or you can email, so we can try, because we have another. I think we have another hours. We have another half an hour. So I have to explain to you guys. So Elasticsearch begins with a project called Lucene. I forgot how to pronounce it. Lucene. It's a Lucene base. Okay, the backbone of Elasticsearch is Lucene. It's a search engine. Okay, it's not search engine. It's a storage. Okay, it's written in Java. Okay, Apache has started the project on 2005. But the challenging is the challenge on using the Lucene file is it is not designed for scale. So what happened is Shea Bannon, who created the Compass project back on 2004, he built a Compass on top of Lucene. So he solved the problem on the scalability. So he put scalability as a top priority on the Elasticsearch project. So on 2010, okay, he successfully rewrote the Compass codes and called it as a Elasticsearch. Okay, but sometimes people call it as ELK because it's a combination of Elasticsearch, Logstash, and Kibana. But Shea Bannon started the project with Elasticsearch. Okay, actually there are two purpose of, or there is two objective of Elasticsearch. So they want to be, the project to be distributed. Okay, so they introduced the node is a instance. Okay, node become an instance of Elasticsearch. So we have a node and we have another what we call as a cluster. So cluster is a new technology of to scale the infrastructure of Elasticsearch between the nodes, and you can grow your needs. You can grow your cluster as you need to grow. So let's say we started with one node of cluster, we can simply expand or scale the infrastructure. But the issue is that on the the machine or the scalability of the capacity that you want to grow up. Okay, you want to grow your documents. And the second one, the purpose or the objective of the development of Elasticsearch, Shea Bannon want to be easily maintained by other languages. So that is why Elasticsearch are using the REST API. So for clustering communication over HTTP. So when we are using the HTTP protocol, we can communicate in any languages, because it happens that all the callings happens on the HTTP. So every programming language support the HTTP request. So straightforward. They can use Elasticsearch in any platforms. Okay, this is the what you call as the history of Elasticsearch. And then this one is installation process of Elasticsearch. So I'm choosing this kind of installation because I just want to show the capability of Elasticsearch on this class. So if you are using the files, the binary files we get from Elasticsearch website, we just can directly install, and then we just use the tar program to extract the file, and we can test it out. So using the curl command. So if let's say it output back with the port 9200, so our installation would be successful. Okay, this is what we're doing with Elasticsearch. Okay, so Elasticsearch they have a partner where okay, so is a Logstash. I think okay, Logstash is a data collection engine. It has the capability what I call as a real-time pipelining capabilities, and they also have the capabilities on injection on workhost of Elasticsearch, and it can be pluggable in any pipeline of architecture. But I've asked the developer why they don't focus on Logstash, because they have what you call as Logstash. There's an issue. Because if happens to be the errors from the Logstash, so our architecture maybe they have will stop the process and everything. So troubleshooting process also are difficult if we are using the Logstash. That's why they are introduced the pipeline process or ingestion. So Logstash can be pipelined by many of the sources file. So yeah, this one is how to download the version of Elasticsearch. So we have to have the what you call as a Java. So this is the installation process, and this we do some pipeline, and then we're gonna test it. So this is what it looks like from our stashing event. I taking this picture from Elasticsearch website, elastic.co. So there are three elements in Logstash, whereby it has an inputs and filters and also the outputs. Okay. So actually I'm sharing the file, the Logstash file, but the classroom function is not function just now. Okay, I'm gonna give you the file. I'm gonna share the file, so we can straight away use the file. Okay, so. So I think I give you this one first. This is the proper way of doing the mappings file. Copy, then okay, file, new documents. Okay, paste. Okay, this is the mapping. Mapping for Elasticsearch. Okay, this one is for TCP, IP, and HTTP. Okay. Okay. So okay. So okay, where are we now? Here. Okay. Also, okay, the Logstash file, the SharkFest file. Okay. So this is the S, okay, from the Logstash. Okay, PI SharkFest. Okay, this is the Logstash file. So we have 3 parts here, which is input, filter, and output. So basically, by default implementation, for this kind of exercise, we don't put any credential here. So our Elasticsearch would be visible on the networks. So if you are going to implement Elasticsearch in your place, make sure that you enable the what you call as a security here. But if you read from the last news from the Elasticsearch, they have already released the Elasticsearch security free. So we can straight away use the Elasticsearch security without any cost, any extra cost. So what happened here is that the input file must be on the JSON file. Okay, so we're going to filter the file. Okay, so we are going to use the bulk API to import the JSON file onto our Elasticsearch. So we are removing. This one is the pipeline filter support by Logstash. You can check the documentation, and actually for ease of use, we only filter the innermost network protocol for the purposes. Okay, so and then we usually put some processing here to match with the timestamp, because from the pcap sometimes the timestamp would be different on the millisecond or seconds. So on the output, okay, we put on our Elasticsearch. So if let's say your Elasticsearch is on the other host, you can put here your IP. Okay, so this one would be the index. Okay. So I'm going to share this file, Logstash file. Okay, file, new document. Logstash file. Okay. Oh, sorry. This one. Copy. So, okay. So the Logstash file and I share. Okay. Done. So it would be right here. Sorry, where is the file? Okay. ELK. SharkFest. Move here. Okay. Okay, so what's time now? Oh, we have another half an hour. So while doing this, I'm having the problem on indexing because Elasticsearch, they only limit the total fields on only 1,000. So actually we have to, to do some mappings so that we cannot just straight away put the JSON file into our Elasticsearch. There will be an error. So even though the Logstash received the file, but unfortunately, because of the limitation of Elasticsearch, because if we put all the 200 fields, it will be slower. Elasticsearch will going to be slower, and the performance will be down. So yes, Wireshark can actually visualize about 200,000 individual fields, and it is awesome. Okay. However, we do not need any of the fields, because on the aggregation it will be problems on the performance. In fact, it will be slower down. So to overcome this problem, okay, and I've made some some adjustment. During the Elasticsearch automatically will index our file, will do automatic mappings. So it has about 4,488 line on the mappings file. So it is not good. So we have to do some ingestion, or because we want to we want to make sure that we need the specific file on our data. So actually, I'm taking the file from Milaparco with the permission. Okay, the file that I've shared with you guys. So this is the step that we're going to use to actually import the file onto the Elasticsearch. So we are going to use the curl command. This is the curl command for import the file onto the Elasticsearch. So you guys can try this, because we have about half an hour. So before we're doing this kind of importing, first we have to do a mapping. Okay, so mapping is a process that we need to index our file. So we want to define every, let's say, IP must be put as a type of IP, not just a string. If we put a wrongly fields name type, it will be, it will not be utilized by Elasticsearch. So another issue with Elasticsearch was I found that since version Elasticsearch 5.0, string has been replaced by text. There are a reason why they are moving turn out the string file, because it was to eliminate the confusion. Okay. However, changing the field type to keyword fixed the problem. So the reference was from here. You can get the information why they are changing the string. So I have to do manually again to change all the string type to text type kind of fields. Okay, and then another issue is duplication issues, because there are innermost fields in the pcaps. They have the what you call as a duplication. So we have to take out the unnecessary fields so that it will be duplicate error on Elasticsearch. So this one just interesting. Okay, so conclusion. Okay, so Wireshark has given full blown of capacity on the network traffic analysis. So, but we have to do some a module instead of doing the manually inserted file onto the Elasticsearch. We have to do some kind of module for pcaps, not just a manual operation on curl commands. So it will be more stable or more efficient on the exported file. So the rapid development of Elasticsearch, we have to the streamline. Maybe we have to take out the task to streamline the development by the Elasticsearch. So and we can to leverage the Tshark capabilities on the mappings on the filtering features. So I think that's all my presentation. So I will be here until 3. So we're going to discuss on the important thing and stuff like that. So I just want to give credit from this presentation to my Adib. My Adib he was my friend. He's supposed to come here to present, but unfortunately he cannot come here because the health problem. So my wife and my daughter at the back. And this is my students. This is the one that teach me the mappings. I think he is from here, or maybe he is here. No, Vic Hargrave, Milaparco, and my institution. So this is my reference, a link that you can, refer. So I'm referring to this link. But we have to do some, adjustment because most of the link is not the latest. The problem with Elasticsearch is that their developments very fast. Between version A to version B, they are moving very, very fast. So sometimes we just learn version 6. So version 6, there are a lot of features that cannot be supported by version 7. So we have, issue like elastic mapping. So that's will make our pipelines having trouble. So last but not least, this is the links that I've referred on the blog of analyzing network packets with Wireshark Elasticsearch. So I think I will end my presentation right now. So, but I'm here. I think we're going to discuss how to do the elastic stuff and how to do the some visualization, the graph, something like that. So it will be very interesting. I think that's all for me. I'm very sorry if I cannot satisfy your needs, but we are here. I'm here, so we can we can discuss. Okay. So thank you very much.